Just That Butter podcast. It's a beautiful Monday evening. No, Tuesday evening. It's Tuesday, right? All
Tuesday.
right. Yeah, yeah, it's
Yes,
Tuesday evening
Tuesday.
in the hills of Eastern Kentucky. We have
Hmm.
been off a few weeks, Don, and we haven't got to interact with our beautiful crowd in a long time. And it's been a while since me and you got to really get in here and mix it up.
I
so
know it's been a
it's good
while.
to see your face and good to get on here and hopefully we get to interact with it. Hope we get some comments, people come in, and we can
Yeah,
talk about a lot that's happened in the last few weeks. We've had Christmas, we've had New Year's, we've had some
we've had
tragedies
bowl
happen, we've had bowl
games.
games, we've had
Yeah,
basketball games.
yeah, all kinds of
So
things.
all kinds of good stuff going on. What's up, Betty? Joe's
Yeah,
over
hey
in the house.
mom. Yeah, we have such a good audience. They're all kind and they're patient. But then once we started missing more than like two shows, I've got two girlfriends, especially that Sam and Michelle. I talk about them all the time, and they're like, "What are you doing? What are you
Yeah.
doing?"
So I'm glad that you've had that happen to you because I've had the same exact thing
I
happen to me.
know. Yeah,
My sister in law and my dad and Eric Boger, who used to run our social media account,
yeah.
he's like, bro, what are y'all doing? Can y'all not get together? What's
I
the problem? So
know. I love Eric too. I love the encouragement that
yeah,
we get. And they're like, look, you guys get on there, do something. It doesn't
yeah,
matter. Get on there. So here we are.
yeah. So I got to see Eric and hang out with him. That was actually one of the highlights of my uh, little Christmas vacation here, I guess you would call it. And it was
Yeah.
he was down to see his in laws, and it was really cool. So, like I said,
Yeah.
we've had a lot going on. I guess the cats are playing behind you right now on your big screen.
Cats are playing back there. Yeah, I've got them up there. I think you all can see them if I tilt that. Well, nope. Todd turned it off. Made a liar out of
Made a
me.
liar out of you for
Made
sure.
a liar out of me. But no, we always watch Kentucky basketball. I know Willer still has a neck injury. Didn't play tonight. We're playing Vanderbilt tonight. But yeah, was checking it out and just kind of, doing our thing here in Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah. So we got a few things going on. What's going on, Knox? We missed you, buddy. And I don't think Don missed you at all. But
Yeah.
anyway, Chris is in
There's
here.
Chris. We love
Hey, Chris.
Chris.
Chris,
And
Chris is hurting my feelings. Like he's really picking on me hard. We're going to do something anti-bullying campaign on Just That Rubber podcast.
oh, maybe not be so sensitive, JD. See there, Chris.
Yeah,
I
that's
took
my
up for
problem.
you,
That's my problem. I'm way too sensitive.
and I love your shirt. And
Oh, yeah.
because of that, I'm constantly staring at your shirt. Does everybody see this? Mom, do you see his shirt?
It's a chicken, bro.
See, I have a podcast shirt on that Jimmy Don finally sent me. I'm
Oh yeah.
finally part of the group.
No, oh yeah, that's right. Now you're official.
Now I'm official. Got a
So
shirt.
we do have some sad news we want to talk about before we go too far along. Uh, we here in Martin County lost a very, very important part of our community. A guy who done a lot for our community on both sides of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who was always, when I come to Kentucky and I moved to Warfield from West Virginia, this guy was. Hold on one second. Well, let's get through this. Victor was really just an outstanding guy to me. Always, I'm sure he had his detractors and people who didn't like him. People talked bad about him, but the only thing I could ever say about Victor, he was always good to me. And
Oh yeah.
he never big time me. No matter where we was at, we see me out, he'd speak and
Mm-hmm.
talk to me. And I really, man, we need more people like Victor Stone in our county. Our hearts go out to Cody and Jared and Marlena.
Mm-hmm.
We love you guys and Victor. We miss you and we need more people like Victor Stone in this county. We would be a lot better off, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Devastating loss. A wonderful family. Everybody loves them. You know how we are. We're a culture. We'll complain some here or there. I'm sure people will, but ultimately, we come to fight for our own. So Victor Sloan was loved. His whole family is loved. We'll miss him. Pray for him, and we'll keep pushing on like he would want, and see if we can get Martin County and Eastern Kentucky moving forward. Right?
Yes, and then also I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the Warfield or Martin County Middle School, they also a teacher that as way I understand that this guy was well loved. I didn't know him, but he was one of my son's teachers, and I think my son really thought highly of him. Mr. Farley. I'm not sure. I didn't know him. I can't really speak to him as well as I can Victor because I was so
Sure.
personal with Victor.
Right.
But our community grieves right now, man, for two lost people.
Two lost
lives that really impacted their community as well. And they're both educators.
Yeah,
and,
yes, they are. Yeah, I had Mr. Sloan in middle school, and
sure, I did too.
All the children, and I pray for Mr. Farley's classes and the kids. That's another devastating loss, and prayers go out to his family. I know he married into the Booth family, I believe. So we all love them. So yes, keep those families in mind in your prayers.
Yeah. And so that's it. We're grieving here, but we're going to go on with the show, and we're going to talk about the Cats' big bowl win. What about we haven't got to talk? There's so much.
Oh, there's so much
we
to
needed
catch
the
up
show, but
on.
there's so much.
I know.
So the Cats, man, they get another big 4 years in a row now as bowl victors. The Citrus Bowl victor again this year against Iowa, which is not a slouch team.
No, that's not a slouch team at all. Yeah, it was a good game too. And
wasn't it one of the best bowl games?
That was a great game.
Oh my God, it was so
and
good.
I love our helmets. I know it's kind of offside, and I'm a girl, but I love the Kentucky Wildcat helmets.
You like those big chrome domes, do you? I'm not a fan of them. Honestly.
See, I love those. I just think they look so good. I think our team looks really good. I'm, not a fan.
I'm more of a traditional guy. I like the blue and the white. I don't know. I guess it's just not a bit. We're going to debate about it right now. I'm just kidding. I thought Iowa actually, they look a lot like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They look a lot. I like the old school look. The just plain look.
Like Alabama.
Like Alabama.
They
Auburn,
keep their traditional look.
Penn State. All those guys.
Yeah,
I
they keep
really
their.
enjoyed that.
What do you think about the checkerboards? Everybody. I don't prefer them. Yeah, I don't.
I'm not. So I guess that they're trying to align themselves with Secretariat, where he was a Triple Crown winner. I don't know what the big deal, but I guess his racing pattern was always the checkerboard or whatever. I'm not a fan. I'm not crazy about it, but I can take it or leave it. Like, it's not a big deal to me. How do you feel about it?
I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like it. But I like the helmets.
Real men don't wear helmets. There you go. Chris is a rugby guy, and with a big dome like that, Chris, I'm sure you heard a lot of people with your big head.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, what about? So now we get to talk about it, Todd. First off, let's talk about Georgia's big win.
What about Georgia?
Over Michigan, first off. Let's talk about the Michigan game.
Yeah.
Why was Michigan in the same arena as Georgia Bulldogs?
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me?
Well, I can't. You're pushing me way too far on that.
Because let me tell you something. There was a lot of good bowl games.
That was
not one of them.
A good bowl game. I know. It wasn't. Some people said the same about Cincinnati.
Yeah, of course. Cincinnati didn't belong to the same field as Georgia.
Yeah.
Or Alabama.
But I like that they all got a chance, though. Honestly, don't you? I like that we got that those teams got a chance. So
because now they can't say, "Oh, well, if we would have been there," you know what I'm saying? It's like the old joke: the cop pulls two guys over and he walks up to the driver's side and he talks to that guy like a dog and he smacks him.
Yeah.
Then he goes over to the other side and he says, "Roll your window down." And he smacks him too. He goes, "What was that for?" He goes, "That's the way. When you get down the road, you're gonna say, if that guy would have slapped me like that, I'd done this." So now they can't say anything. We got them. So
right.
So how good is the SEC? And I heard people trash talking the SEC. Like,
what is there to even trash talk about?
Oh, but we're so top heavy. Of course, you're seeing our fourth best team play against your best team, bro. You're going to win some games. The SEC is going to win some games that way.
For sure. Yeah, I hear that argument too. I don't believe that in the least, because our lowest SEC team could still take out some of their tops.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I hear that all the time. We're top heavy. Alabama and Georgia carries the SEC.
So let me get caught up on some of these comments real quick before we go too far ahead.
Look at Mike Cooper. What did you guys do? Fire Jimmy Dawn?
You told Betty Joe to look at my shirt.
Mom, read his shirt.
She loves me, Dawn. You can be quiet right now. She thinks I'm amazing, and I am. She's right.
She's precious.
We lost two people important to our community. We lost great educators too. Yes, absolutely, Sam. That must have been
yes.
About.
Thank you.
I never met Victor Stone. However, I take the Martin Citizen, which covered him extensively. He really cared for Martin County. He absolutely did. Love Victor. He grew up with my two oldest children. Great family.
Yep. Grew up with my brother.
Thank you, JD. Lance had Victor and Mr. Farley the same year. Yeah. And Lance is it's amazing. You can look at people that were influences in other people's life, and Lance is a great kid or a great young man, I should say. And it's just because the people Sam had him around, and then testament to Sam.
Lance will go on and make a change from this area too. Mark my word.
I hope. Yeah, I mean, he has all the potential in the world to do that. Absolutely. Chris, real men don't wear helmets. Like I said, you got a big head, so shut up.
We love you,
Chris. As long as they win, talk about the Cats. Yeah, absolutely. Mike, we did not fire Jimmy Dawn. What did you guys do? Fire Jimmy Dawn. We did not fire Jimmy Dawn. Jimmy Dawn.
Really busy.
Very, very busy. I mean, he's just got his kids written everything. He's got a YouTube page that's really blowing up. And He's just super busy, and you can't knock a
Has-
guy for that.
Yeah, he has more of a life than we do.
Yeah, absolutely. More of a life than I have. There's no doubt about it. Although I like to live my life just a little differently than Jimmy Don does. But yes, we're Jimmy Don. Hey, Sandy.
I know he's like, where's Waldo at this time?
Absolutely. Hey, Sandy. And the SEC rules, absolutely. Mike Cooper, the SEC is the best. So, Jimmy Don is my favorite. Chris.
Now, Chris, don't you make me break up with you, Chris.
It's only because he's not here. That's why he's.
I know, right? So now let's say I was singing Georgia's praises all season long. Was I not?
Yes.
And the defense carried it along. But I will say I got off a little bit on Stetson Bennett and was kind of starting to get frustrated, especially with them in Alabama, because I really thought that Kirby Smart should, toss JT in there. Yeah. It's nothing's working, so let JT have a shot. But Kirby stayed with his man. This is a walk-on, a great kid for little boys to look up to. This is a kid that nobody wanted. Yep. He went everywhere. Nobody wanted him. Matter of fact, they told him it was too short. His arm was not strong enough, so forth and so on. And then look at what he did. He kept fighting, walked on, and ended up winning the championship at the very school that he wanted to go to in the state that he grew up in. I mean, that's a mini Tom Brady story.
And he transferred out there for a year.
Yeah.
And then transferred back in.
And then came back. Yeah.
And so this story gets just more unbelievable as you dive deeper into it. But good for him and good on him. Good kid, good family. And he played his. I mean, there ain't no other way to say it. He played his ass off last night.
He sure did.
He threw the ball away at times when he wouldn't have done that. He didn't do it in the SEC championship game.
Right.
And
went head to head with a 5-star,
Alabama.
Trophy. I mean,
how good is Alabama? Seriously.
All the time too. I mean, they're good all the time. Yeah. Like I am.
Okay. Alabama's good all the time.
But yeah, they're good all the time, and they're already projected, I think, in the number 1 spot for next year because of the classes coming on. So, thanks, Mom. See, Mom gave me some love on mine too, and look.
Right. Well, she just felt like she had to. That was a pity compliment.
I think so. Just throwing me a little love because she's petting on JD too much.
So does rooting for Georgia work the same as Todd vacuuming the floor?
That's hilarious, Eric. Sorta.
She ain't going to front on that one. She thought about it for a minute.
I'll root for whoever he wants me to root for. No, I'm just kidding. I actually like Georgia red. I think that's a pretty color. But, I'm a Kentucky girl, so I'm all about my cats all the time. But I'm just like my politics. I will call out things that I like and that I don't like. And I do like Georgia because Todd's kind of, pushed me across that line. Sure. I even liked Tennessee at one point until Knox. I even liked Tennessee at one point until they started having a little more scandals than what I could handle. But I'm all over the place. And I like Alabama. That's the first time that I haven't rooted for Alabama in a championship game.
But look, here's the thing that and it's been better since the playoff system has been around. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But we absolutely had the best 2 teams in the nation playing last night.
Yes,
There's no doubt. They were far and away just better than everybody else. And they proved that in their semifinal games by absolutely destroying Cincinnati and taking Michigan to the absolute woodshed.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to hear these naysayers saying, oh, Alabama was hurt and all this and the other. But guess what? If Georgia would have been hurt, Alabama would take that national championship in a heartbeat and be tickled to death. So football is a game of attrition. And so that's the way the dice roll sometimes. And
thank you, Mike. Mike's giving me the score. I cannot stand Vandy's court. So when they play, so when they play Vanderbilt, I turn it on and I just kind of glance at it. But it's just one of those games that I really don't just drill down into because I can't stand Vanderbilt's court. I love Vanderbilt. The school's, obviously prestigious, but Lord have mercy, do something with that court.
So you should know that I've watched some basketball games this year. I've watched 2 or 3 now. I watched the North Carolina game and I can't remember what other game, but we won every time I've watched. But I mean, Kentucky seems like they're really, really good. I don't understand losing to these lesser teams.
You've watched 2 or 3 basketball games. That's almost as many dates as you've had in one weekend, ain't it, JD?
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, next subject. Let's go here.
that's good for you though. Basketball's amping up. We've watched a lot of Tennessee. We like Rick Barnes, so we watch a lot of Tennessee. They're playing tonight too. I don't know that score. If any of y'all have that score, let me know that one.
Is Tennessee Thompson Bowling Arena? Is that
They're
where they're
Thompson
playing?
Bowling. Thompson Bowling's a great arena to go
So,
to.
yeah, well, I mean, you can't say
Yeah.
anything about Tennessee's facilities because they're top notch. Both Neyland Stadium and Thompson Bowling Arena. Are
The whole
really,
campus. Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
campus is really nice. You can say a lot about their fans, but there's not a lot to be said about the campus and the.
So, one of my heroes did his work at University of Tennessee. I'm sure you know all about the Body Farm.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah,
I
it's a
don't
big.
know
It's a
if-
big deal,
So,
and
like,
that's about all I know.
so Bill Bass. Okay, so I'm gonna give a little rundown here on who Bill Bass is and how the
Mhm.
Body Farm got started. So, Bill Bass is a forensic
Pathologist, isn't he?
forensic pathologist. Yes, that's right.
Mhm.
And he started working with Actually, he started working with farmers. Okay, is how he got started because
Mhm.
they was like they didn't know these animals were dying. They couldn't tell how long they'd been dead. If the meat was good, the meat was spoiled. What
Mhm.
caused the death? What's going on? And so it started out. The Body Farm actually started out with animals,
Mhm.
and then Bill Bass started getting loans and started working with law enforcement agencies, and they got this plot out by Neyland Stadium
Yep.
for the Body Farm. And what they do on the Body Farm, for those of you at home listening, is that you can donate your body to science, and they'll put you out under like different conditions, and they'll record how your body deteriorates, depending on how long you've been dead, what the temperature was, was you laying under something, was you laying beside something, how many fruit flies were eating your body. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's totally fascinating because, as you know now, when they say, "Oh, he's been dead for about 8 hours," it's because of that research they done at University of Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh yeah, UT's facilities, the school's top notch. It's a really top state school. Like it's competitive. They're big on agriculture, and I'll tell you something else they have is a wonderful veterinary school.
Yeah.
So it's a whole deal. I think there's only like 10 vet schools in the nation or something like that, and University of Tennessee is one of them, and they do all kinds of stuff for animals. And like you said, Bill Bass does he's changed the whole surface of forensic pathology that's done right there in the South,
So I'm going to recommend 2 good books by Bill Bass for everybody. One's called Des Acre. That's about the Body Farm and how they come about. And the other one is called Beyond the Body Farm, which is a bunch of like cases and stuff he worked with law enforcement to solve. It's called Beyond the Body Farm. So those are 2 awesome books that you guys, if you're a nerd like me, you can check that out. And
yeah.
So the Body Farm is behind UT Medical, where I had to park during residency. It smells to high heaven. Is that true? Is that real? Like, you can really smell it? I guess you would, right?
Yeah, it's all decomposing.
I mean, not like they can block in the smell.
Yeah, they can't block it. Yeah. That's
so.
It goes pretty quick. Well, that was a morbid topic, but there you go, guys.
Yeah, just never know what you're going to be talking about on it. But anyway, yeah. What's a program called The Walking Dead?
Oh yeah.
Never heard of it, Chris. Waking the Dead. Program called Wake. See what I just did? I just did not read that at all. So, what's a program called Waking the Dead? I don't know what that is. What, Chris, you can explain to us in the comments what that is, man. But Chris does actually usually put me on some good shows. He put me on to Peaky Blinders, actually. And it's a top-notch show on Netflix. Oh, you've not watched Peaky Blinders? Really cool. My favorite thing about hanging out with English people like Chris is he can insult me and I have no idea what he's saying. And so it doesn't
and they end everything with XO. So I'm like, is that kisses and hugs? It's like, that's what they do.
So I'm talking about in real life though. If he can just cuss me all to pieces, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know what you're saying right now.
I think that's cute.
Did you just say something bad to me? Because it sounded like he was.
Yeah, he can't understand us. We can't understand him. But love is universal, right? So we love him anyway.
So British show about posthumous forensics.
You guys are into all that.
I really am. I enjoy that stuff. I think it's really interesting. So we got a few other subjects let's talk about. Let's go ahead and get up. What do you think about Antonio Brown? Like walking off during the middle of a game, like in almost the end of the year, and he just walks off on his team like that.
I don't know. You'll have to fill me in on that. Is that an NFL? I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. So Antonio Brown's a wide receiver. He used to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he had like a meltdown in Pittsburgh. And then a few weeks ago, he was down in Tampa Bay, and they were like losing, like by 3 touchdowns. He's like one of the best players,
Hmm.
and he starts jerking his pads off on the sideline and leaves during the middle of the game.
Gee. So he had a temper tantrum, or does he like
Yeah, he had a
truly
temper
have
tantrum.
some mental stuff going on?
Well, there's some hits. It shows. You've heard of CTE, how these guys get this brain
Uh-huh.
damage from
Yeah.
all these hits they take.
And that's completely true. Yeah.
Yeah, and then people were saying like, no, this guy needs to get some help because he's having like real issues, and
Yeah,
we think
because he's
got
not able
CTE.
to control it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
sad.
it's sad, but it's also that's the part that like there's a part of me that wants to go, bro, grow up, be a man.
Oh, well, for sure. It's football.
And then there's a part of me that goes, oh man, that guy, he needs some tools to cope with what he's going through.
Well, you can feel sorry for somebody and still think that they're out of their element and need to go.
They need to kick him out of the league. Do you have any empathy for him at all? Like, do you think he's got some brain damage going on or anything? Because I think it's clear that he does. I think it's just obvious that this guy is more than just a diva. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely got something going on.
I agree, but I think the question is, if he does have something going on, does that give him the right to be such a sideshow? Because if we get
that's what we don't know. We don't know like how serious that is. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's right. So that'll be
because,
interesting to see. I'm sure
yeah.
the league will come up with. I'm sure the league is studying all this stuff anyway, and will come up with something.
So what we're talking about, the posthumous stuff, we can't. They can't really. I think they may have made some headway in this, but I think they can't really detect CTE until after posthumous, till they're dead. So
I think they've made some advances with MRIs of the brain, but
sure.
I'm not for sure.
CTE. He was like that at Pittsburgh. He wasn't. He was bad, but he started getting that shot by Vontaze Burfict from Cincinnati. People have been showing it over and over, showing that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Headway, good one. Oh, you see what I did there, huh, Knox?
Todd catches that stuff, and it just goes whoop, right over my head. I don't catch any of it. Well, Lord have mercy. So what else you got? Because you know what I'm.
So Morgan Wallen. Let's talk about the Morgan Wallen thing. I think it's really interesting.
Morgan Wallen, and so this is I don't listen to new country. But now he is the one singer that I have heard. I can't tell you a song, but it seems like I've heard one of his songs, and he has more of the old country vibe, right?
I actually don't listen to a lot of country, period.
But
I can put on some Morgan Wallen and jam out to it now.
I think him, and I think another one named Sam Hunt.
Yeah.
I think, is that right? I think those two are the ones that I kind of will dig. Morgan, I know, is from Sneedville, Tennessee. So if you want a country singer, then that's a country singer. That is a teensy tiny. It's equivalent of Martin County. So he's truly a country guy. He's not one of these guys that, went to private school and grew up with a daddy that made $1 million a year in Nashville and sing songs about how, they're living check to check. That's not.
He's a redneck, right?
Yeah, Morgan's the true deal. Isn't he the one that was hanging out with his black friend and he used the N word?
Yeah.
And the black friend wasn't offended, but everybody else was offended. Am I right?
I don't know. Like, honestly, I didn't know if it was the black guy that caught him on video or somebody else caught him on video.
It was somebody else that caught him on video because his black friend took up for him, if I have that right. And then, everybody, how it is. You know how, these social justice warriors are. That's enough to make you racist. Everything's enough to make you racist without.
Yeah, but now the new thing is, though, that people are still trying to cancel him. Like, I guess he sold out like 50 of his tour dates. He sold like 48 of them or something like that.
He did, and everybody's calling everybody who bought the tickets to Morgan Wallen racist.
He's a racist too, right? By association.
Which
I think is
absurd.
We gotta everybody take a big deep breath and take a step back and understand that I'm not so proud of everything I've ever done in my past. Are you, Don? Because I'm not. Mm-hmm. I'm just not. There's things I've done, said. Yeah. I wouldn't do today and say today,
And we talked about this on this show. I mean, back in the 90s, 10 years ago, there's still some people that use that word freely when they are identifying certain hollers in this area. And I know the opposite to be true in the Williamson area. I mean, that's just kind of like been pounded in our heads. You say it without even saying it when you're trying to name, don't go up that holler, go up holler. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean,
2032.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that Morgan Wallen should continuously have to pay for his sins his whole life. Let that one go.
And that is my problem. That, I am a social justice warrior. I'll say that. I admit that. I think I am. I
Mhm.
try to be. I think it's a good thing to be.
Everybody
But
should be at
also,
first.
don't be so open-minded that your brains fall out. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
Yes.
uh,
Well, at some point, are we ever going to forgive, or are we a
that's what I'm saying.
society?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting to.
Are
We got to
we a
have a little
society that
empathy.
just, yeah,
We have to have a little grace.
right.
Okay? If a guy makes a mistake, we shouldn't just take him out and crucify him. We shouldn't
Hmm.
just lock him up forever or kill everybody that's in prison or they should never get out because they made a mistake. They
Right.
paid their due. Morgan Wallen, he did something stupid. He said something stupid. He got caught on tape saying it.
He apologized. He gave money to some certain charities. I guess he even took some therapies. And you also have to remember, social justice warriors tend to cherry pick what they're going to be offended about. So, this is, of course, the people who are saying that he's racist. But like Knox said, or Todd said in there, people call us hillbillies. They're not giving us a compliment. We don't get offended as easily, but they don't. Then you've got the Jewish community. You've got the Asian community. You have all these minorities. I mean, I don't know about canceling people forever, JD. I just don't think it's the right thing.
So I'm going to take a little bit of issue with this. It's still okay to make fun of hillbillies, though, right? And I get that. But we don't have the history that African Americans have in this country. We don't. Hillbilly doesn't mean go use a different drinking fountain. Doesn't use a different bathroom because of the way you look or the way you talk or even the way you talk.
Yeah, it's apples to oranges, but
Right.
collectively, you're still making fun of a group of people. You're still
Sure.
disparaging a group of people.
So right. So I mean, I'm a comic, so I can get on group. I can get on stage and I make fun of a group of people all day long, but still not going to use that word because of the history behind that word.
Yeah, well,
So
I think
that's a little different.
yeah, I think
And
the word has been I think everybody's in agreement that the word shouldn't be
Sure.
used.
Right.
But
I know that. But I'm just saying, I just want to make that, like, everybody goes to that argument. Like, we can still make fun of white people or make fun of hillbillies, but it's a little bit different. It's not exactly, like you said, apples to apples, it's not.
Mhm.
And
It's
that was my own.
in the same arena, but yes. I was invited to a hillbilly party one time. Did I tell you that story?
I don't think so. Let's hear it.
Oh God. I might have.
Did you, hold on a second. Did you show your ass when you was
I think I just went too far. All right, Mom, if you can go watch the news, watch the weather like you do. So, okay, fine.
This is my favorite part about our podcast anymore.
I know.
It's like the beginning of the show, she's always like, "Oh, hi, Mom."
And Sam and Michelle, don't y'all say a word because they'll know that. Okay, so here's what went on. Well, first off, I was minding my own business, and that's the truth. And then I get this text from this girl. I will say, I don't want to say the specific country where she's from because I don't want her to watch this. And then, there we go. So let's say that she's from a specific country. She's not American. She invites me to a party. Now, Todd and I are not like super close friends with her and her husband, but we don't dislike them. We like them. We're just not, it was just a little surprising that we were invited to this party, and we're kind of new in our friendship and stuff like that. And I'm not that kind of girl. I'm not really like that kind of partier. I tend to hang out with a small, very, small group of people. Anyway, so I look at the text and I'm like, oh, what kind of party? Because I didn't know it was around Halloween time. I didn't know if it's, going to be a Halloween party or whatever. She says it's a themed party. It's a hillbilly party. She didn't stop there. Now,
no, but I gotta ask you. Let me ask you. I gotta stop you during this story. I've got to stop and ask you questions because our listeners want to know. Mm-hmm. Did you get red at your shoulder blades up from that point on? Like, how long did it take you to get on edge about it? Like, did you get like super on edge? Like, was you ready to go?
Well, here's the thing. Listen, it gets weirder, and this is like, Paul, my word of honor, this is the truth. So,
what did you just say?
Paul, my word of honor. Are you not hillbilly?
Paul, my word of honor.
Lord have mercy. Are you not from Eastern Kentucky? So anyway, I get this text, and I'm just going to say it. She's Turkish. Okay. So she's from Turkey. She goes to Los Angeles, and she thinks she's this thing and all this stuff. And anyway, so she comes to Knoxville. We meet her in Knoxville, her and her husband, through work. Real nice couple, have no problem with them until this. Okay. So we're all getting along. They're a funny couple. They're fine. She sends me this text and says, hey, I'm having a hillbilly party. would you and Todd want to come? And I'm sorry, something like that. And then she said it was a hillbilly party. Well, that took me a minute. Mom, I always call Mom. So I'm like, Mom, I'm invited to this hillbilly party. And like, I'm ticked because this girl went further, JD. She said, we need you to come so it will be authentic. And I thought,
it's about to get all kinds of authentic up in here, girl.
Lord. Okay. I'm going to have to switch to be Catholic for a minute because I'm going to whip some arse, and then I'm going to have to ask for forgiveness. But then Mom is like, oh no, don't let them get to you. Just, go about your business. So, you know me. Everybody knows me by now. Michelle and Sam can verify. Well, heck, all of y'all can.
Chris, you're ridiculous.
Shut up, Chris. Anyway, so Mom tells me to just be nice about it and accept the invitation, and be this Southern belle. Well, but I'm not that type of girl. So anyway, I decide to listen to Todd, and Todd's like, well, we're going to go and you just do whatever makes you comfortable. And I said, okay, all right. I put on the hottest outfit that I can come up with. And it's not a slutty outfit. It's just hot. It's just, I'm setting out to make women mad. Yeah. I am. I'm just going to admit it. I've set it out. And if I make every one of them mad in that house and they ever want to roll, then we'll roll. Right. So I decide I'm going to put on this super tight pencil skirt. The girls on here I know. And then I took a flannel shirt because it's a hillbilly party. So I took a flannel shirt and I cropped it up and I did this whole thing and I'm doing the whole thing. So anyway, it was kind of a Daisy Duke type thing. Yeah, I was about there, Mike. Anyway, so I go on and I tell Todd, I'm like, I don't want to go. So after I get ready, I'm like, I don't want to go because I can feel it, JD. You know how you feel your vibe? I'm vibing the wrong way.
Right. I know exactly.
I'm a little mad.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, yes. I'm a little mad. I'm a little offended. If I go, this isn't going to, let's just not go.
Had a little bit of chip on your shoulder walking in, right?
So Todd's like, Todd, the city slicker, he likes the controversy. So he's like, well, let's go get some dinner. And then we'll decide. Because I was hungry.
This is all your fault, just so you know.
Because that's right, I'm the victim. So, because
you did say you was always the victim.
I was always the victim. Everybody takes me out like I'm the instigator. So anyway, we go to this really nice restaurant. If you guys are ever in Knoxville, go to Connors. It's a nice restaurant. It's not overpriced or anything, but it's white tablecloth, and we go there. And I don't drink. I mean, I'll social drink, but because I don't socialize much means I don't social drink much. So it means I'm a lightweight. Okay. Yeah. So it means when I do drink, I feel it. Well, then that night I had a drink called a mojito. I'd never had one before. And Lord, it went down like water. I mean, right. it had like leaves in it or something. It was good. So anyway, so I get that in me and then I get food in me because, I get hangry when I'm hungry.
Sure.
So then I decide, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm like that Toby Keith song. I've got one drink in me and I've got like a whole load of chicken wings. So I'm good to go. Right. So I'm like, we're going to go.
This is like a good night so far.
Well, we have our friends come with us and our friends are a lot of fun. And so they meet us at Connors and now I'm telling them about this hillbilly party. So now they're all in, just like how you would be. They're like, yeah, let's go. We'll go with you, So I'm like, okay. Well, one of them got a little loud. So we're sitting in Knoxville. Now listen, Eastern Kentucky, when you go to cities, people sit at bars and you don't have to drink if you sit at a bar. Like lots of people, because back here it's a sin. If you're seen sitting at the bar, then they think that you're, an alcoholic. That's not how it works in cities. You can actually sit at the bar and not even have a drink. Right. But we were sitting at the bar that time because we didn't pay attention, JD, but the restaurant was packed. We didn't have time to wait on a table and the bar was open.
Sure.
Had we looked around, we would have noticed that some type of formal dance was going on. So there was a bunch of kids from UT there. And it was a graduation too. Okay. So all these people were there. Well, one of the friends who's with me got really loud, but he talks loud because he can't hear. See, people don't think about these things.
They don't know the story, right? They don't know what's going on.
They don't know. Right. This table behind us, just out of nowhere yells at my friend and tells him to be quiet. Well, my friend is spunky. He's a Tennessee redneck, right? So he turns around and he's like, mind your own business or whatever. Remember, this is a white tablecloth restaurant. This is not a place where you have any type of confrontation. This is
called Applebee's.
It's not Applebee's. It's not Chili's. It's not Applebee's. It's not the Roadhouse. This is like white tablecloth. So, but I'm a mojito in, so I'm like, oh, okay. What are they saying? What are they saying? One thing led to another. And some girl, he gets into it. And then this rather large girl tells me that because, see, I'm dressed like a hillbilly.
Sure.
So I stand up to be with my friend who is confronting this guy. And then I say something and she looks at me and says, I kid you not, why don't you crawl back in that redneck trash can you came out of?
How fast was you on her?
Well, I didn't. I didn't because I don't ever hit first. It's not my style. Okay. So I'm like, I'm sparring words with her. I'm in 3.5-inch heels. I'm sparring with her. Well, when I hit somebody with words, like she clearly, that was rude to say. Yeah. I said something back to her, and I didn't even cuss.
Okay, well, you know what it is, so let's hear what it is.
But I told her, I don't want to say, but I hit her where it hurt. Right.
You said something about her weight.
I totally dove in on that because she was clearly
because it's an easy target, right?
And she was using her size, thinking she was going to intimidate me.
Right.
But you can't really intimidate. You can't back here. It's just one more time, Right. So anyway, I spar with her on words like that, and the next thing you know the chefs that have the hats on.
Oh yeah.
Here they all come, and it was a whole deal. And we end up going to the hillbilly party, and by that time,
so I'm not saying Todd told us what you said, but
why don't you? Yeah, a salad. I said you should. Yeah,
bitch.
And then the entire table stands up.
Hold on a second. I would give $100 to sing this, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, and let me tell you something about Todd, who loves to tell all this stuff. Let me just tell you something. So my nieces, I have gorgeous nieces. Right. My pretty baby girls all call Todd Uncle Chuck. And there's a story that goes with that too, and it doesn't even match. But let me tell you something about Todd. We all got into it at that restaurant, and we were face to face, and I was going, take one hit, just hit me. If that's what you're going to do, just hit me. Don't sit here and call me. You can call me names. People call me names. I don't care. Hit me. You do something about it. We got cameras everywhere. That way, when you hit me, I won't. Then nothing's going to happen, right? Where's Todd? He's always somewhere. You don't know where he's at, but he's somewhere. And that's his story. He's like, oh, don't worry where I'm at. I'm where I need to be to jump in if we need to be. Well, I've never seen it yet. So I must have been able to handle everything myself. Okay.
You're just going to him yell.
My kid, we got into another scuffle with one of my nieces and her boyfriend. And Todd said he was like Chuck Norris. And we all died because we were like, well, Chuck Norris would have been there. Where were you? Are you invisible? See, he was at the ready. Either way, so we kind of get into it. We didn't throw hands or anything like that. We're just arguing back and forth. And I go on to the hillbilly party. And when I get there and all the girls watching, girls will go off and be in like these girl groups. And then the guys will be off in another group. Well, now I'm kind of just feeling it. So I walk into their house. They have a lovely home, and it's a big house. And I go in, and they were not nice to me from the time I arrived.
Really?
Surprise, right?
Yeah.
So do I leave? No. I go right over to
all in. All in.
I go right, and Todd's with me. I go right off to the husband group. And I get right in the middle of those boys, and I spend a good hour and a half while those girls are over there fuming. And then here comes one, and she said, "Are you over here?" And they're climbing all over their men. It was like her and one other, and I'm like, "I don't want your men. I just don't want your all's company." It's like that. I shut that hillbilly party down, and then now Todd did do this. she said, I can't believe you're offended over this. Because JD, they had their teeth blacked out and they had the whole look. And they had a bunch of them look like they were pregnant with cigarettes and
barefooted.
Yeah, just, the whole stereotype.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm a hillbilly. I don't see any of y'all looking like me. I don't see any of you looking like me, So I'm fighting that battle. And then we get into it at the hillbilly party. And then Todd did say, well, how would you feel if we invited you to a Turkish party? And we all, did the whole thing. And she's like, well, that would be inappropriate. And we're like, well, it's the same. You don't invite somebody to a hillbilly party and say, come, because we need you to be. It's like having a black party. And then I say, hey, I want my best friend, Rebecca, who's black. Can you come? Because I need an actual one.
Yeah, let me invite my one black friend over. Like, yeah.
It's insane. So there's my very lengthy story. It's much funnier, but I can't say everything because my mom watches this show. It was fun.
Long story short, Dawn didn't go back to the hillbilly party next year.
I didn't get into it, but I will stand up for myself on that because I feel like I'm standing up for you and my mom and everybody else that I love.
I think that's totally agree with all that. Like, people say we're not offended about things. Like, of course we're offended about things. We're all offended about things to a certain point. If I asked Chris to come to an English party and we all had crooked teeth and big heads, he would be offended.
Oh, it would tear me off. It would tear me off. Yeah, right, because that's what people say about English people, and that's not true for all of them. So I just don't know why we group people up like that and try to make fun of them. So I went to the party meaning to go in there and stir them up.
So Sam's got issue with you here.
We did. We always encourage Sam.
So Sam, she is now telling you to abandon that advice. It's bad advice. I know you've been going by it for 35 years. Abandon that advice.
Sam was always a sweeter one. We'd be like, go get her, Sam. Me, I was always ready to go. Michelle would always stir it up, and then I would do it, and then we would push Sam into it too. It was always
bring Sam along, huh?
Yeah, and then my friend Jessica Priest, let me tell you, now she can throw down.
Right. I heard that.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, people talking about how mean Jessica was.
But anytime he was with Jessica and something broke out, I never worried.
She was talking a foreign language when we was on the way.
Mom, why would you tell that? Okay. It's a slam dunk. I was at, we were, how old do you think we are, JD?
Okay, it was a euphemism, guys. It was not, I didn't do the math in my head or anything. I was saying 35 years.
Cute profile pic, sis.
Like Michelle said she is dragging Michelle's name through the mud. Michelle's standing up for herself. She would never do such thing.
Lord, we had some good times, girl.
And your husband says, "Do not take advice from Dawn. Do not."
Got it. Where's my pigeon roost folk at?
Where's Eric Jude at? Why did you take that from Dawn right now?
And Bridget and Chris, you can jump in here at any moment.
Anytime.
Todd, what's going on with everybody? And JD, did you ever sneak out when you was young?
No.
That's
no.
Look, that's a whole deal that we did back here.
Is that a thing outside of here? Like is
I don't think my kids have, which I have alarms on my houses.
Right.
But
I just hate those people who had alarms on houses. You're trying to get girls to sneak out. I'm like, oh, my dad set the alarm.
My daughter is an actual model. There is no way on God's green earth.
Rottweilers outside of moat.
I practically have IEDs in my yard. Ain't none of that happening. But back here, that was a whole thing.
Eric's afraid to say anything. And Sam says he's running for judge. He can't be seen on such a podcast.
That's right. Good luck, Eric.
Chris is trying to chum up with Todd.
First off, Chris, no, he is not. I'm your favorite. Michelle said neither did we. So lo and behold, here goes me and Michelle and Sam. I cannot tell you they're going to blow these comments up. They're going to start texting me and tell me to shut up. Okay, fine.
Just tell one story tonight. Just tell one.
Well, which one do you want?
The one that's going to make Michelle and Sam the most upset.
I'm telling you, we had such a good time. But back here, it is a whole thing. It's a whole thing to sneak out. Now, Mom, don't pay attention. And look, we had fun when we snuck out. But after living in the city, JD, when I come back here, Todd is like, aghast that it's so dark and quiet. And when I walk out with him at night, because he's poor little thing, he's so sweet. He's like, look how pretty it is here all the time. This is so nice. Everybody's so nice. He's that person. So I'll begrudgingly go out and be like, damn, Todd, it's just the sky, with
Betty Jo, did you hear that?
I don't think that's a cuss word.
Betty Jo, she allowed to say damn.
Mom. Anyway, so you have to think about these 14.
Michelle, Betty, this is just on the show.
Look at Michelle. Girl,
your friends don't do anything illegal when Michelle or Sam. They will roll on you quickly.
I know.
That right now.
Aren't my friends hot though? Look at their profile pics. They're hot girls.
No, they're
anyway,
women,
so we go out and we're just minding our business. Okay. And there was always other friends involved. And we would stay out until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And we went.
I like your mom, Chris. I like your mom. She's a good judge of character.
That's awesome, Mom.
Said our mom had us so much
cute.
we had to sneak in. Your mom's a good judge of character.
But really, we would just sneak out. We'd go to the top of the strip job mainly and hang out in pitch blackness. Sometimes people would have bonfires going and stuff like that.
Sometimes
you can roll your eyes. We weren't whores. We weren't whoring around. We were just hanging out. I mean, that's just how it was.
I will say you're right.
You don't have to sneak out and be a whore. Why did you're muted? Can't hear you.
I said when I snuck out, I was being a whore. I ain't gonna lie about it. Like that's what I had on my mind. I was
whores are whores, whether you're sneaking out or not. That's what.
I know that. Yeah. I'm not calling y'all whore. I'm just saying that when I snuck out, that's what.
No, I was calling you one.
That's what I'm saying. But you said whores are whores. I wouldn't. Okay. I feel offended now. You're attacking me. I feel attacked over here.
Look at my pajama pants, y'all. I'm up here in a t-shirt with my pajama pants on. Anyway.
JD's still sneaking out. That's right.
That's right. Tell us.
All right. So anyway, I feel like you're trying to distract us and not tell a story. We got to get to this story.
I can't tell all the stories, but we just, that was the thing that we did, thing that you did. But back here in the hollers, there's not tons to do. So we would go out and go to the top strip jobs. And this is before 4-wheelers and stuff like that. So, but I had
These girls are killing me.
These girls are crazy. I'm going to bring them on. I've been begging them to come on and you can facilitate a whole girl show. You think you can handle that?
Nobody thinks you was whores, Michelle. Absolutely. I mean, I've never thought that at all. You always a little bit older than me, so I didn't.
I don't even care what people think, and
no, I'm saying though, like I don't think that you all had that reputation. Is all I'm saying. I mean, not that you care, but I'm just saying.
If we did, it probably would have been more of a tease.
Right.
And, that's fine. People can say whatever they want to say.
Sure.
If I wanted to
be rumors on myself, girl. It's fine.
Yeah. If back in
the day,
I've done
it every single time. I'm just kidding.
And then Mom's little comment about speaking another language. That was a trip to Miami. Why are these all Dawn stories? Tell me some JD stories.
Oh, there was usually more traffic on the road after midnight.
That's the truth. That's the truth. And Eric, do you remember my horse Joker? Like back in the day, 4-wheelers weren't a thing. So I had a horse. And he was a good-looking. Those were Billy girls that were a little mischievous.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
I've got stories, but they're not fit for this podcast. I'm just going to tell you right now. Like if I start telling stories, we're going to get everybody.
Oh no, I
don't
have to tell stuff. You can. You don't have to tell us everything, but you can tell us. Well, what happened the other weekend when you had to cancel the show?
We was just busy. We was all out of town. We was busy doing stuff. Yes, Betty, it's all yours. Just some hillbilly. I don't know what you're talking about, Don. We've had a good time. Don's telling some good stories. I'm Mr. Sweet Innocent over here. I'm just minding my own business.
Right. I love growing up back here, though. We had a lot of fun because we had a lot of freedom. So we learned a lot of things. Honestly.
Sure, that's true.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I knew exactly how to knock my car into neutral and take it out the driveway. I knew to take bologna and throw it to my dad's hunting dogs to keep them quiet while Michelle and Sam and everybody else we'd push cars out, we pushed cars in, we did what we had to do. It was crazy.
So I will tell you, I got caught one time by my grandma. We was going to go to my buddy's house, and we was nothing good going on down there, obviously. Yeah, but he was like, "Oh, you got to come down, hang out, this and another." And you know where I live. You know where my grandma's. I live in my
Mhm.
grandma's old house now. Well, that driveway used to park the car up beside my grandma's window, right?
Right.
And so my stepsister got a car, and we was all going to sneak out and go down the road. And so here we are at night. We're like, all right, our grandma's asleep. We're going to get out of his house, and we're going to get out of here quick, and nobody's ever going to know.
Right.
So, but it's on a little bit of a bank. So if we get that car going, it'll slide almost all the way out to the driveway, always almost out to the road. Well, we're out there, and my stepsister didn't take the car out of park. It was ended up being the problem. I was like, I can't push this car, And my grandma starts knocking on the window. She goes, "What are y'all doing?" I didn't know what to say, and I was like, "We're playing around with the car, Mom." Like, they was like, "That was quick, JD. That was really good."
Oh,
But so I did get busted one time. But you know what we did after she laid back down?
Go back.
We went straight out the driveway.
Yeah, you just go
Didn't
back
turn
there.
me in. I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
And,
When I became an aunt at like the age 10 is when my brother had Megan. And
Okay.
then they had the boys, 3 years later. So I was young when the boys came along. So they would spend the night with mom and dad a lot. Well, that would mean that mom and dad had to be quiet and go to bed on time and stuff like that. So when Corey and Kobe was there visiting with mom, that's when I would be like, Sam, Michelle, the boys are at the house talking about the nephews, so we can do whatever.
Right.
Because
We
mom,
thought they was being rowdy anyway, right?
the parents are preoccupied, so let's
Right.
go. It was a ton of fun.
The cheat code, baby. That's a cheat code right there.
Yeah. Oh, that building. Yeah, that building at my house. That's a good time too. We had.
Go on.
I would have parties. Now
Yeah.
that was my sister Sandy's fault, but mom and
See, you're a victim. These
I'm
people
the
around you, Don.
victim.
These people around you will get you.
I was the victim. So
Sorry
get
about that.
this. My sister Sandy, she never watches this show anyway, so we're going to talk about her.
All right.
So anyway, so Sandy's like 3.5 years older than me or something. I can't remember. Mom would know. Anyway, so she would have these parties and she'd be like, I'm going to have a party tonight. And you and your friends talking about Sam and Michelle, you and your friends are going to stay in the bedroom and you're not going to bother us. And I'm like, oh, I'm always the feisty one. So I'm like, well, what are you going to pay me? What are you going to pay me? What are you going to do? You know what she would do? She would give, and you can ask Michelle, she about killed Michelle one time. She would give us that cheap Boone's wine. Her and my cousin Jeffrey Harmon would go and get us this cheap wine. And
Strawberry Hill or Snow Creek, either
yes, thank you. That's how
Creek.
she paid for my silence at the ripe old age of like 14.
Right.
And me and Michelle and Sam would get in there and we would wear it out. And we'd do everything we could. Well, Sandy had this one party and she had all these people over and I had a goat. I don't know why I'm like this, but evidently I'm just an entertaining person, but I had a goat. Girls, y'all remember that? I let that goat in the party one time. It was a billy goat and it chased Sandy and her friends all over the place. Great time. And in April, my oldest sister, April, I'm just going to slay my sisters tonight.
This is have all
Let me tell you what. There you go, Michelle. Do you remember when Sandy gave us all several times. Sandy and Stella and Sabrina and them would give us all the wine and tell us to go in the bedroom and be quiet while they had a party. Michelle drank a little too much one time. Do you remember that one time you drank a little too much? Anyway,
Don, your mom is awesome, great lady, and your dad is.
I like how Todd's trying to protect me. He's like,
Don,
your family's really good.
Yeah, I think Cooper's trying to give you the hint to shut up. You're getting yourself in trouble.
They are a great family, and we're all good, but we had a lot of fun. But yeah, my sisters were a lot of fun. And my brother would pay me to say cuss words. And
so here's something that's going to surprise a lot of people that watch the show and know my family, know my brother. Growing up, my brother wouldn't let me do anything.
What, Brian? It's just you and Brian?
No, well, there's Brian, me, then Kendrick. So I'm the middle one.
Oh, okay.
But Brian actually wouldn't let me get any kind of meanness at all for a long, long time. Yeah, he would go around threatening to beat people up if they let me drink or let me smoke pot or anything like that.
Right.
I've literally smoked pot with people and they'd say he'd kick my ass.
Oh,
are you serious?
Brian and Chastity, they're a great couple. Yeah. and
Yeah.
good kids in high school. But I've been
Oh, yeah.
friends
They
with
got
friends with them forever. But let me tell you, many a time that we've all ran into each other at parties,
Oh,
and
yeah, I'm sure.
that's
Absolutely.
it's funny that they want the little ones to not do anything.
Yeah.
you know?
So that's what I guess he was like embarrassed because I looked up to him. So, like, because Brian was in for me for a long, long time, that's who I looked up to and sat around. And then I guess when he started getting the mischievous things, he didn't want me to know about it. He was embarrassed by it almost.
Oh,
And then, but once it broke over, man, here we go. It was bad.
that's so
So
funny.
I'll tell you about a story. I'll tell you a story about me and Brian getting in a fight one time. We was living in let me get through limousines, and I'll tell you a quick story.
But, so,
So you were telling too much,
That's
taking all the pressure, raise these girls. No, Sandy could tell you more than I could. All
Yeah,
about
because-
Michelle drinking so much.
yeah, because Michelle was half dead that night. That was funny.
If you grew up on Pigeon Rouge, drink Boone's Farm wine, and had a goat as a pet, you might be a hillbilly.
And a horse. And a horse.
So once Brian and I started partying together, we actually lived together for a year before I went to National Guard. And so we lived in Huntington, West Virginia with Mikey Boyce. I don't know if you remember Mikey. It's Lowell. You remember Lowell Boyce?
Mhm.
His brother Mikey. We all lived together in Huntington, West Virginia. And it was not the best of times for us. It was not our proudest moments. Okay. But we ended up let's see, how do I say this without getting myself put in prison? I got pulled over 7 pounds of pot one time.
Lord?
Also,
see, Mom, JD's got more problematic than I am.
So one night, I'll tell you about a fight we got into. One night we was at our little apartment, and we lived on 6th Avenue, which was like 4th Avenue is where all the college kids partied at. We was like 19, 20.
Okay.
And so we pre-partied at the house. We went out to a big, nice, ritzy place. It was called Big Daddy's Tavern. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A big, nice, ritzy place called Big Daddy's Tavern.
Well, I'm just listening.
So it's a little redneck bar. It was terrible. Like it's West Virginia, Big Daddy's Tavern. And we was playing pool. And so I'm kicked back and it's like college night. Like there's people everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's some girls over here. I'm talking to these girls, I'm kicked back with my pool stick. And Brian comes over to me. And Brian, everybody knows Brian's a hot head. Like really hot head. So he comes up to me and goes, "Hey JD, that dude over there staring at me."
That's all we need to start a fight. That's all we need. You look at us one time.
It's the biggest dude in the bar. We ended up finding out he like played rugby for Marshall University. He's like the captain. Anyway.
What are y'all doing?
And this dude's built like
right.
And I'm like, bro, you're just feeling good. It's fine. No big deal. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna talk to these girls. Let's just hang out. You're just being hot headed. You're fine. And which really pissed him off. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because he felt like I didn't have his back or something.
Right.
And so he came back over to me. Now, in Brian's defense, he walked all the way around the table, the pool table, and this dude stares him down the whole way.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
so you saw that?
Yeah, and I saw that. So he came back up to me, and he was pissed because I'd done said that to him. Then that guy did really stare me down. And he goes, "I don't care what you say. That guy staring me down, and I'm gonna go say something to him." I said, "You hit him, and I'll hit the guy standing beside him."
Yeah, you got to strategize these things.
And so, Brian walks over toward him and throws his pool stick down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he walks over to this guy. He goes, "Hey, buddy," I mean, this guy's huge. He goes, "Hey, buddy, you got a problem?" And he pushes Brian on his right shoulder. And I'm telling you, Brian was about 190 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd take your head off your shoulders. He could hit like a
Yeah.
mule. And he pushed Brian's right shoulder back, and I said, "Oh my God!" And Brian went, "Correct," and dropped that dude, went boom down to his knees. So what did I do? I hit the guy standing beside him. He didn't know what was going on.
That's right.
So somebody grabs me from behind. So now I'm scared because I'm in the middle of this bar. I don't know. Anyway, we start fighting. Guy hits me, touches me from behind. I turn around, crack him. I look back around, and Brian had backed up to kick that guy and tripped over his pool stick.
Oh.
And so that dude rolls over, jumps on Brian, and I, bam, smack that guy on the side of the head, roll him over.
Yeah.
And then somebody else grabs me from behind, touches me from behind. So I turn around and pop them. And so they had a big industrial fan, man. Mikey's over there fighting. Brian's back fighting. He's hitting people.
Mm-hmm.
And we all get back up. And this big guy, he goes, "Who was it hit me? Which one of y'all hit me?" I said, "It's me, motherfucker." He goes, "No, man, I don't think it's you."
Oh my gosh.
And so that's like one of our biggest fights. Like, it was crazy. But I was just, It ain't that I was mean. I was just scared because somebody touches me like that right there. I
I'm
don't care
not.
who they
No,
are. They're going to go
yeah.
down hard and fast. I ain't
I
asking
fight. I
questions.
fight from a defend position. Like if you talk about my people, then I'm ready. So I was always into it over Sandy, but now April would fight. I've never known Sandy to, but now April would wear it out, and she's tiny, but I'd hate to fight her.
So Chris says, I worked with Brian in New York, cracking lad. That means he's a good guy for those of you taking notes at home.
Chris, did y'all ever sneak out over there and say, what do y'all do for fun?
Yeah, was that
in
a thing
England?
in England?
What do y'all
Chris?
do? Do y'all just play with royals over there, or what do you do for fun?
Y'all know if Phil was able to watch this, it wouldn't matter that I'm 45 years old. I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, Mom will call me after this.
Oh,
Mom will call me and scold me.
Then talk
Sandy probably will too.
Right. So one last thing before we get off here, we forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. Did we talk about the?
We didn't talk about nothing. We got off on everything, and you guys tell us topics if you want us to cover anything.
Did we talk about the comedy show? Did I tell about the comedy show?
No, we haven't. You got to talk about that. We didn't cover 90% of our list. But
well, we got
okay.
another show coming up this weekend, but it'll
right.
be fine. So before we get off here tonight, guys, I appreciate you all joining us on just a Tuesday night. We want to come in and check in with you guys and hear some of Don's stories. I think that's awesome. It's all fun. So we got a comedy show I got started. We're always looking for exciting ways to grow Martin County, and it's important to me, man. I'm a community guy. It's important that we do a good job in our community and do things and bring in tourism. I think tourism is a big deal. It can be here. So the tourism board actually renovated the old court building, the old courthouse, and it's on the National Registry of Historical.
Yeah, it's a beautiful building.
It's really nice. So I actually went in and toured it today just to, as preparation for January 29th. So I reach out to people that I thought might be interested and be good for our community to have a family-friendly comedy show in the courthouse building.
Are you going to wear that shirt?
And I'm not going to wear their shirt to the family-friendly thing.
Even though
there's nothing wrong with this shirt.
There's nothing wrong with it. I think that's great, JD, what you're doing for the community. We definitely, Michelle brought this up the other night when we were talking about the comedy show. And she reminded me that there was a comedy place in Prestonsburg.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
And it was packed.
The comedy show kept that place running for years and years, honestly. Because they weren't doing any good any other nights.
But people would go that night. I remembered that. So you never know what you'll be able to drive.
I made some good connections in this comedy world already, as little as I've been in it. But I'm an outward going person. I don't care to talk to people and get to know people, whatever. Even during the quarantine, I stayed busy doing a podcast with the Comedy Workshop podcast. And, I made some good connections and I'm excited about what this opportunity can be for Martin County. I'm excited about, having people from Paintsville and Louisa and Kermit coming over here and buying gas and getting food and
right.
Some of these people might get hotel rooms, whatever, but whatever it is, it's money that's to be spent in this community that wouldn't be otherwise.
I'm excited to see life breathe back into that building.
Yeah.
And you never know. One day, Inez may even go wet, and people can come over and have an entire entertaining evening with a comedy show or live music. We have tons of good artists right here in our region. Yeah, so you never know what that venue can turn into.
So I'm excited about it, man. I think it can turn into that. I think that going forward, I'm going to do some adult shows, but this first one, the inaugural one, I want to do it family friendly. I want to open up the doors for everybody. I want to make the tickets $10 a piece so everybody can afford it to get in there and enjoy, 2 hours of entertainment for $10.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard to beat that and find that kind of quality entertainment. Live entertainment,
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I'm super excited about it. I wasn't going to be on the show, just for putting it out there. I wasn't going to do it. I was asked a few times, ain't you going to be on the show? Ain't you going to be on the show? I had a lady who was going to host the show for me. It turns out her work schedule is not going to allow her to be on it. And so I ended up stepping in as the host. I'm going to be the host. I really wanted to sit back and kick back and enjoy the show myself. But,
I think you'll make a great host.
But I'm going to get there. And I've got a few things I want to say as opening, but we're looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to having Joey Stepp back in town, opening the show. I think it's only right that we have a Martin County native open the show. So that's why I put him as the opener. And then I've got two guys coming from Louisville. One guy, They're both really funny guys. First off, they're both
Right.
funny guys. But one guy, you know, he does this for a living. This is what he does. He's a national headlining comedian, and he
Yeah.
does a lot of corporate gigs and a lot of church groups. And so this is right down his alley with this family friendly show. And I hope everybody comes out and supports him, man. Hope it's a big success. We can do more of them as as the year goes on, the years go by. I'd love to make Martin County the place for comedy in Eastern Kentucky. How cool would that be?
That would be so cool. I mean, we have to look for ways to grow and bring people in, right?
And who
And to
has a
keep
venue like that? Who has a
and
venue
to
like that besides us?
That's what I'm telling you. And I've said it 100 times. Little tiny Inez is as cute as it can be. They're so close, you know, they're so close. All they have to do. And I'm not advocating for people to become alcoholics. I'm just saying if you want to get people to stop here, like motorcycle groups in the summer, they're gonna drive right by you and they're gonna come over to Paintsville and they're gonna enjoy live music and have
Sure.
themselves a beer and take a break, and then they're gonna get back on and continue their journey.
Sure.
We've got to get over that hump.
Absolutely. And I know the comedy show is not going to be the end all be all, but it's one of the prongs. It's one thing that we can do that that maybe somebody in the next county over is afraid to try it. I'm not. You know, we're going to do this, and we're going to work together. I think we'll be successful. So, when is it? It's January 29th at 7 p.m. at 10 Courthouse Road. It's the old courthouse building in downtown Inez. You can't miss it. It's an awesome building. It's a cool building. And look at Chris, man. How sweet is Chris? Good luck, pal. You deserve success.
Yes. Yeah.
Chris, are you okay? You feeling okay? You okay?
Chris is sweet. He's precious.
If you need to call and talk to somebody else this, you call me, buddy. All right. I love you, Chris.
That's fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
That's my mate right there, Chris.
Yeah, we're going to come over and check it out and root you on. Do you want to cover anything else? Do you guys want us to keep going? Cover anything else? Or are y'all good? We got lots of stuff to talk about whenever we get Jimmy Don back.
He said I was fake.
Oh my goodness!
Look, I think that's a wrap for tonight, girl. Let's just wrap this thing up.
I think we're good.
Appreciate you all commenting in, man, and joining us tonight, and then listening to us rattle on, and me tell stories, and Dawn telling her Fascapades. I guess
I didn't do a thing. And go Dogs.
Poor victim Dawn over there.
He tried to tell you guys.
Yeah. All right, guys. For me and Dawn both, we'll see you guys maybe Sunday. And as we always end our show, no matter how bad your day's been, no matter how bad your week's going, if you just add bourbon, it always gets just a little bit better. See you guys Sunday.